3, 2, 1. We are about to go live. Yes. And we are now live on YouTube. So welcome to the Global Future Leaders Program, graduation ceremony. We are welcome to the Global Future Leaders Program, graduation ceremony of the first batch. This is for the finance module. They have successfully completed 4 months of training, plus they underwent an assessment as well. So they learned basics of personal finance, including what is an asset, what is a liability, is mobile phone is an asset, what kind of asset is it? Is it a depreciating asset, etc.? Even cars. So they have learned all that. They have also learned that other than fixed deposits and recurring deposits, PPF, PF, there are other avenues like mutual funds. And also we have stocks and certain other avenues like real estate, etc., where the money can actually grow faster. So we have told them about that. We also introduced them to the concept of active sources of income and passive sources of income. We also introduced them to investment leaders like Warren Buffett and of course the author of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, that is Robert Kiyosaki. So we told them about that and we are encouraging these young leaders to read and learn more because this program serves as a platform to increase their exposure. We are trying to make them aware that yes, there are these avenues, etc. So today we have 2 dignitaries amongst us. Chief guest Karthik Ravindran, who is an investment expert. He has been investing since the last 18 years. He's an IIT alumnus, IIT Roorkee alumnus. He has an MBA. He is also a CFA, and he has managed and multiplied several people's money over the last few years because he quit his job in an MNC and then started his own entrepreneurial venture. And he's now extremely successful running a multi-crore business. So welcome Karthik Ravindran sir. We are really, really happy to have someone like you here in this.
Thanks.
Yes. And then we have,
Happy to be here.
yeah, we have Hariram Dinesh. He is you can look at him and see, he's a thinker, right? You can make out that, right? If you look at him, you can make out that he seems to think profoundly. He's a Toastmaster. He was in Rotary also. He's very passionate about social work and he is in IT industry for the last 22 years. He had done his engineering in aeronautical engineering, very interesting stream of course of study, but then he went into a different field because of certain other reasons. So we have him. He will be giving us an overview of how to do goal setting and why goal setting is so important for becoming a future leader. Goal setting for children. Okay, so first let's start off with a short interview with Karthik Ravindran sir. Okay, so Karthik, welcome to Win with Manju, and it's a huge honor for me to interview you here live in front of all these young leaders. And first, let me ask you: you did your engineering and then did your MBA. You are an IIT alumnus. So, what made you get into the entrepreneurship mode?
This just happened by choice. It's not like I had plans for it.
Okay.
This investment started as a hobby, and
Okay.
I tried to do a lot of other things. There was a simple goal: get rich. Eventually, I figured out that I'm very good with these investments, picking stocks,
Yes.
and
Okay.
this ability to pick stocks are the companies which could multiply,
Okay.
which in turn meant, combined with the power of compounding, the wealth accumulated.
Yes.
And
So
from there, I picked up. It was not a plan. It was not a plan. It was not a pre-planned one. It just happened along the way.
okay. One fun fact for you children. Whenever Karthik sees, FD, come on, invest in FD and all, I think his BP just shoots up. He gets
No,
irritated.
nowadays I'm at peace, quite
Now,
at peace,
yeah.
very much
Then
at
it's
peace.
like, people see, why should people put in fixed deposits? Why should people? Because money is not growing. You understand, right? 5%, 5.5 or 6.5%, maximum 7 point something. I think senior citizens may get some extra bucks. That's it. So maximum,
Extra 0.5.
yeah, that's it. And maximum I could see for a normal person, I think it's around like maybe like 7 point something. That is what the best bank was offering. And it's nothing. When you see the minimum that we can make from a mutual fund or a stock, now these children have done that research. So Suvan or Shyam, would you like to share? Did you see, you remember, right? The top 10, 20 mutual funds, stocks and all. It's like several times, 30% growth, 40% growth, 70% growth return they are getting, right? Suvan, would you like to come on camera? Suvan, Shyam, Satvika, they had undergone this program. Okay, he's having some difficulty. Shyam and Satvika, you can share. This is more like your opportunity to interact with the person who started his investment journey so young. And now, he's running a multi-crore business. He just sits and manages other people's money, multiplies the money. So, Karthik, I have a question again. Karthik, when did you start investing? At what age?
Around 2006,
Okay,
approximately 22 years old.
22
Just
years
out of
old.
engineering college, I
Okay,
had a job, so I had
okay.
the money from the salary.
I started at
Started from
23
there.
and a half. I started at 23 and a half.
Yeah, it was also nice to see you had some stock which went up 1,000 times. I think it was
Yeah,
a pharma company.
yeah, I had.
1,000 times. It's not like once or twice or thrice. It's 1,000 times. I am yet to do that. I
No,
haven't
but
even made 10x
I,
on a single stock.
just a disclaimer, I'm not a multi-crore person. I'm not executive. I bought only like 2 or, maybe 5 shares. So those 5 shares, yeah, it kind of multiplied, like he said, several thousand times. It did happen, but I had only very little money, so I could buy only 5 shares. If I had bought
That's
maybe 100 or 1,000 shares, no, today probably I would be, I don't know, I'll be owning some, I don't know what else. Maybe I'll just be jet setting, just traveling.
the
And
1,000 times was when I last checked. That was some 5-6 years ago. I don't
yes,
know if it is 2,000 or 3,000. So it's
yeah,
already 1,000 times. If it doubled from there, it would be 2,000. If it was triple from in the last 5 years, it would be 3,000 times.
yes,
It was a pharma stock. That much I remember. So
yeah,
here I want to bring one point here. When
yeah,
I was graduating from college,
yes,
4 of us we used to stay in a single house, 2 BHK, Chennai. The rent was 1,000 rupees. I think same house would today cost 15K or more.
hmm.
Right? If you had put your money in fixed deposit, back in those days, interest was higher.
Hmm.
So 1,000 rupees, if you had put in back in FD, today it probably would be worth 4,000 rupees
Hmm.
or maybe a 5,000 rupees in the last 17 years or so. At 7%, money doubles in 10 years.
Okay,
Back in those days, it was slightly higher. So 1,000 rupees then was 1 month of rent, whereas 5,000 rupee today is probably 1/3 of a month, maybe 10 days of rent. So this is why you need to make more money. The inflation is the term. The prices of things increase. And there is one more thing called as lifestyle inflation, where as money comes to your wallet, you start spending more on the things which you normally wouldn't have spent. So you have to factor in that. So you have to get along or faster than the pace at which the prices shoot up.
indeed.
Back to you, Manju.
Okay. Now you did an MBA, and is it after your MBA that you decided to start helping others also in managing their money?
Okay, here let me bring in the Maslow's hierarchy. You
Yeah.
don't really intend to help somebody else when yourself are struggling. I have to go through the phases. I don't think I reached that after MBA. Probably around 2015-16 when I started to run surplus.
Okay,
When I say surplus, before that, what I was earning was barely feeding me. Right.
okay.
So you have to be reaching a point where you have enough for yourself. Then you have some surplus, and then you have a lot of surplus that you don't need so much of it. Then only this helping or giving back to the society comes. So maybe 2011 is when I completed MBA.
Okay,
Maybe I reached a stage in 2016 or 17.
okay. So from 2016, you have been helping others manage their money, right? And when
Yes.
did you start your firm? When did you decide to quit the company, the MNC that you were working in, and become a full-fledged entrepreneur?
It was in end of 2016.
Okay,
And there are certain things which had to come through before for me to like leave the job and get onto this thing. Some of these are external. It is not just that you succeed in isolation.
Mm.
I had to reach certain level of funds which I need to have. Like India was not a rich country in the past. So most of my peer group are like, we barely had enough. We would be
Mm.
like, we would used to call us middle class, but in relation to today's terms, back in those days, we are poor. That would be like more appropriate way to put it.
Okay,
So around 2016 is when probably had enough accumulator and the external things. For example, data is today free, practically free. When
Mm.
I remember a time 1 GB of data used to cost like 250 rupees. Today we get 2 GB for free and it's unlimited data when it comes to Wi-Fi. Around 400 rupees a month, 500 rupees a month, data is unlimited and it's fast, reliable. It wasn't the case in 2015-16. Certain things like external things, people needed to have demat account. People needed to make enough money that they have surplus. All of these things had to come through.
Mm.
So beneficiaries of the overall economic growth around us, a lot of people have grown in their life, and we are all interlinked. I don't think I would have grown in isolation. I was successful because the environment around me was very good. People who were like just like me, they also got well in their life. The environment that was given to us, the environment in which we grew up, we have been continuously progressing
Mm.
economically in other ways also. So that
Mm.
economic growth, we are beneficiaries. That is
Yeah,
how we are here.
okay. Karthik used to always tell me, take more risks, because I don't take much risk. I do invest in stocks, but I had told these children also that I analyze the stocks and then go for the ones which have some good past track record. They have good sales forecast, etc. I just generally don't just get into anything. But Karthik used to tell me, go take some risks. Not like fully you should take risks, but sometimes you need to take risks, right? Warren Buffett and all the other investors, they did take some risk. So what
Okay, so
is your point
risk
on?
is not necessarily a bad word. We
Okay.
misunderstand risk means like things are totally out of risk. Risk simply we can't say like it's an uncertainty and we
Yeah.
can benefit out of uncertainty. There is a whole book written by uh, Fragile, Anti-Fragile or something where he talks about
Anti-fragile.
things that
Yes.
benefit from
Yeah.
uncertainty or
Yes.
something that looks really bad is not necessarily a bad situation. It's an opportunity for you to grab.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here, Manju, she had a stock which has delivered 1,000 times for her in about 10 years span. Around 2006, she had bought it, and I think 2016 or 17, it was 1,000 times for her. What if she had put 1 lakh
Yeah.
in 2016? In 6, if it was 1 lakh rupee, it would be a 10 crore in her wallet in 2016.
Yeah.
I don't know if she has made any other better investments. It's about the sizing, like how much did she put on that? And
Yeah.
I bet maximum you can lose in a stock is like what in its entirety. If you put 1 lakh rupees on a stock, what can go wrong? Maybe you lose the entire 1 lakh rupee.
Yeah.
What is the positive side to it? You can make 1,000 times. She had that stock.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you should show them in P&L, like your
Yeah.
buying price and your selling price, so that they understand it went 1,000 times.
Yes.
Put number skills are very very critical when we say like 1,000 times.
Yes.
Put it on paper. Put like
Mm.
if you put 1,000 rupee on it, if it goes 1,000 times, how much do you have? If you
Mm.
put 1 lakh at it, it went 1,000 times, how much it went up? Now you have to be able to build that number skills, connect the dots.
Mm.
These skills seems like it's not really put that much emphasis. It's never given, never in your college, never in your school, but we probably would have read about something called as a game theory. It talks about probability of an event occurring. And if the event occurs, it could be like a positive or a negative. If it is positive, what can be your best case scenario? What can you gain out of it? If
Yeah.
it goes wrong, what will you lose? There's a
Mm.
consequences. When we take an action, there will be a consequence, a good or bad outcome. It can go
Yes.
right or go wrong. Now, in case of a worst thing, entirety is gone. In best case scenario, 1000x. Maybe it is 2000 or 3000 times for her as on date. I have to
Yeah.
check it. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
No, after meeting Karthik, I did start taking more risks. The reasons, like he said, right? I could have put not 1 lakh, probably another 5,000 rupees I could have really put in. I mean, 5,000 might have been, I mean, 1 lakh is still, I think in 2006, 1 lakh was a big amount for me. But maybe I could have put 5,000 or 10,000, even 20,000. That would have meant a big amount of this. But one good thing is that I've noticed that in comparison to my peers, right? Peers used to put in FD and RD, fixed deposit, recurring deposit, and their money did not grow that much because FD, RD will give 6%, 7% extra. So that's why we thought these youngsters, at least when they start earning, from the moment they start earning, they can analyze and put in their money in mutual funds or stocks, etc., so that they can reap the rewards. So Sham still was little doubtful. Sham was telling, isn't that risky? So I would like to spotlight Sham. Sham, would you like to talk to him directly? Like, if he had not taken the risk, you would see Karthik will be still working in some MNC, working for a few lakhs, slogging maybe, 15, 16 hours a day, slogging and all. Now he manages other people's money and they pay him commission, etc. And he just makes lakhs and crores. You understand, right? He has his own stock portfolio, but he also manages other stock portfolio. So I thought one reason I brought him is because I could see the fear in Sham's eyes because the younger
He
me.
looks comfortable, confident, quite young.
No,
He's
no.
got all the time here.
No, he's very confident. He's very smart. He's very, but when I spoke about stocks, he told me, isn't that risky? So I wanted, Sham, you can ask Karthik directly, Karthik Anna directly, because see, the thing is, everything, we saw the risk return rewards, no? If you don't take risk, yes, you can put in FD. Okay, some of my friends still put in FD. I tell them, please don't do. FDs are not going to help you in any way because we saw, right, inflation, etc. We learned about basics of inflation means what costs you, that time we might have got, for 1 rupee, we would have gotten some chocolate. Now to buy that same chocolate, you'll have to pay.
Like when I
Yeah.
was a kid, we used to have 5 paisa coin. It's your dad sitting with you, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
5 paisa coin.
Have you seen, do you use 50 paisa coin or 1 rupee coin today?
Not even beggars will take 1 rupee coin.
Not
They
that,
are
just Shyam.
asking 10
Are
rupees.
you using are you coming across 1 rupee coin in your hand? Are you coming across that?
Asking you.
Shyam, question is to you.
Question is,
Can you repeat it?
Do you
I'm
see 1
asking like,
rupee coins?
are you handling 1 rupee coin these days? 1 rupee coin or a 50 paisa coin?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So what is the lowest number that you used? Smallest coin that you used?
1 rupee.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, it was 5 paisa. And my grandpa used to tell 1 paisa, 2 paisa was a lot of money in his times.
Yeah.
I still came across 1 paisa coin once in a while. But so that's the kind of inflation. The prices have increased.
Yeah.
As you age, you will see the prices will increase
So
further and
that
further.
we did a study. We saw the gold price over the years, no? So we found that the gold price in the previous years was much lower. You remember that we went and researched, right? Gold price in long ago, 3,000 rupees used to get, lot of gold. And then I think 1978 or 77, just for 100 rupees used to get, I think, 1 sovereign gold and all. Can you imagine 100 rupees getting gold? You can't even get
Today, a gram is
gold.
8,000, hitting on 8,000, 7,000 plus.
Yes.
In physical gold, it's nearing 8,000.
Yes. So the price is going up, but what is so marvelous is that my parents still think that gold is better form of investing. I tell them what I put in gold, and then after 10 years, what happens to my stocks? Stocks are much, they're giving more
So
returns.
one
Over
piece
10
of
to 15.
interruption.
Yeah.
And Hari also is raising his hand. Let me
Yeah,
say
Hari,
this one part.
Yes.
In 2013, the gold was at around 3,300 at its peak.
Huh.
Now it is around 8,000, let's call it. Now, if you put a calculator, 8,000 divided by 3,300, or say multiply it, 3,300, double is 6,600. It probably is around 130, 140 percentage over a period of 10 years, 11 years. If you annualize it, it's barely about 7-8% annual rate of return. This is one of the mistakes which you fail to make. We see the absolute number. You can talk about a property or a house worth crores, and it was bought for a few thousand rupees like a generation ago. 4,000 rupees, maybe like in 80s, early 80s, what is 4,000? Probably today it will be running into crores.
Yes.
Have to see in terms of annual rate of return. This is one thing which we fail to see. Gold, despite all those multiple, it's just delivering about 7-8%. It's just keeping pace with inflation. And from 8,000, the next to double. If it takes a 10-year span, it will hit 16,000. We will see that story. 16,000, it will go to 24,000. If it takes 10 years to double, you are just making about 7% annually, 7 percentage points. That's a critical thing. Two things: percentage, start counting in percentage, and think in terms of absolute number. You need to make good amount of money. When you see an opportunity, how much you want to put at it. Okay, Manju. Even Hari has his hands raised.
Yeah, Hari, you could also pitch in. Actually, although we started off as an interview, but it's become like we can ask him anything, Someone, see, you don't get to, I cannot bring Warren Buffett to you. I wish I could bring him. So the next best thing was to bring Karthik into this live session. And moreover, no, some of the investors, they can't speak to you children. You understand, right? So Karthik is a person, he has taken a session in 2019 for college students and all that. For Win with Manju, he had come and taken. So I know that I can trust him to speak in a way where he will patiently answer your questions. If you have any questions, directly ask. Because definitely it's beyond me to bring Robert Kiyosaki or Warren Buffett to this meeting. So you can ask Karthik any doubts you have. Should I choose FMCG? You learned about FMCG and all, no? So when I think you know about FMCG, actually, Karthik, I told them that FMCG is one sector, no? They keep growing throughout, whether it is Corona, COVID days, or any other situation. People need essentials like soaps, like, detergent powder, etc. Toothpaste.
Let's start.
I mean,
Maggie is also that example.
Maggie, yeah. Nestle.
So, Karthik, I have a
Probably let
question.
Hari. Yeah.
Yes,
Hi.
yes,
Hi,
Hari.
Hari.
Hi. So, Karthik, just on the educational front, like because we have the future leaders along with us, so I'm trying to get this question from their perspective, right? So, uh, so you in India, it is always like you take your car to the OEMs. You don't go to a mechanic and then you don't give it. But if, in the same scenario, if you look into the investments, right? So in India, you have this wealth builders, like you have the HDFC Ergo, you have the multiple mutual funds. Now, what is the benefit of person choosing a HDFC or ICICI mutual fund, and rather than coming to you as an individual asset wealth builder, or a person who himself does that? Like, so what is the three difference what we do? And my second part of the question is like what Manjunath and you guys were talking about is the gold, right? Now India's federated the gold as a kind of a investment on a bond, like more like in a paper gold, right? So anytime like you can read it, but again the locking period is 8 years. And you rightly said like the locking period is like what 10% or 20%. Considering the inflation is higher, the gold increases, but eventually it standardized to 10% to 7%. Now, if you look at it like what is the best option for a person from an India, because when you bring Warren Buffett, like what Manjunath is eager to bring in, but he cannot give that kind of a perspective or a side. So it is good that we have a person who knows our mindset. So what is your thoughts about it?
So first part is easy. The second part is, let me come to the second part. So
Okay.
gold, right? You are talking about gold. So the other thing you meant is SGB, sovereign gold bond,
Correct.
where there is a 8-year lock-in. It is not exactly 8-year lock-in. Like if you want to get into gold, there are equivalent of it without
Yes,
any
sir.
lock-in. Get in, get out
ETF.
anytime you want. SGP gives an additional benefit in that. Now, if you buy a gold, we just have the value of the gold. It's a physical gold. You have to take care of the safety and all sort of things. When you go for a paper format, it also gives you, in addition to the gold price, you get extra 2.5% annualized rate of return. Now, say if you are buying gold for about 1 lakh rupee today, it will result in 1 lakh divided by number of grams. So you have that many grams of gold. Eventually, when you are redeeming it or when you're selling it, you will get the price of the gold at that point in time. Sort of things. Plus, on the 1 lakh rupee that you put, you get 2.5% annualized. Over 8 year span, it works to 8 into 2.5. So extra 20% you get. The gold price plus 20%. But this 20% applies on the purchase price. The gold price is different. The rate doesn't apply on the gold's price. You get the value of the gold plus on the purchase price 2.5%. So on 1 lakh
Correct.
rupee, you get extra 20%. In 8 years, you get 20% on the money that you put in.
Correct.
This SGP, there's a transition happening because of this. Government is incentivizing it because we are a country that imports gold.
True.
It basically means that money leaves our wallet, goes outside to other country. It will also mean that if more money leaves our country, it means the rupee will depreciate. There are things
Correct.
around it.
Literally.
It's a little bit complex. Let's not get into those things.
Sure.
So there is a transition which is surely happening. People are moving towards it. There are also options which is not lock-in. You can get into it, get out tomorrow. And this is
Okay.
practically free.
Exchange traded funds, gold ETFs, sir.
Gold ETFs, there are more
mean-
ways. There are normal mutual funds. There are many ways.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose. Gold, go combination of gold and silver. Gold, silver, copper. I mean, you have multiple choices.
Commodity trading also, right?
Hmm.
Can get
Commodity
into
trading.
commodity
Yes.
trading. But
No, that is different. Commodity
different.
trading is a very different topic. Now, here
Yeah.
you are buying the gold and keeping for a period of time. And
Okay.
commodity trading is it's category of futures and options where there is a time limit.
Okay.
It is not an investment avenue. There's a misunderstanding which people have. Commodity trading is different.
Yeah.
Buying a gold bond is different. Gold bond you are buying with intent to hold it for the value appreciation over next so many years.
Yeah.
The trading, commodity trading is a very different topic. It's part of F&O, currency and commodities, we call it. It's derivative. It is not like a direct purchase of those commodity. It's a long topic. I don't think we can complete it in this particular session. So let's get back to the topic.
I can
No.
give a simple example. Like, see, when people tell me gold is more profitable than stocks, I beg to differ. If you choose the right mutual fund or whatever, like say 2005,
They should have seen us make the money in Manappuram. Then they would agree probably.
Yeah.
Manappuram and Muthoot are gold loan companies. Look at the way they have grown in the last 15 years.
Share price was, I think, 62 and all at one point, and then later it became like 300, 400, even beyond that, right? 462, etc.
I think, see, with the Manappuram, you would have multiplied your money 500 times. In gold, you probably multiplied your money 20 times in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
20 times. I think 400 rupees around 2003, 4 kind of a timing per gram. At the same time, same time in Manappuram, had you put around similar money.
Yeah.
The 20 times in gold or here it would have been like a 500 to 1,000 times.
Sure.
Add in the dividends. If you add the dividends, maybe it's 1,500 times. You just have to run through the check. The data is available. History will be available.
Yeah.
Future we can't predict, but the data is available for the past. The first question is like, what is the difference between me and an ICICI? Okay. Now, they are the brands, they have the reputation, they have the branch nook and corner of the country. You get the service level. There is one small difference which you'll fail to understand. When you go to an ICICI bank, there's a person who essentially talks to you. That person is an employee of ICICI or HDFC or an ICICI. Now, when you go to your bank, that person in the bank has a reason or a need. He has a target. He has to sell so much mutual funds to you. He has to open so many bank accounts, so much insurance. So their intent is more about selling the product to you rather than like you as an individual, you come to me, what is it that you want? What is your targets? What you want to achieve for you? They sell you what they have to sell you. They don't care about what really your intent are. Ideally, it is not supposed to be that way, but that is what actually it happens. There's a concept called as agent principal problem. You walk into an LIC agent, no matter what you have, how much money you have, he's going to sell an LIC policy. It may not be your
Yes.
best fit.
Yes.
So when people come to me for stock markets, there is a very clear expectation, return on investment. What
Yeah.
returns can we generate at this point in time? Or how far, let's put it like, simplify it other way. The primary thing is they want to grow their money as fast as they can at the lower risk level, as low as risk level possible. This growth is what determines the difference. Now, here, like in automotive, right, it is not that you have to go and service there. In India, they have made it as a monopoly. You do have a service third party service option. It's more like a closed system in our country. These Indian automotive companies have made it a closed ecosystem, but it is not necessarily have to be like this. In some countries, there are laws which clearly says it cannot be done.
Mhm.
And in certain cases, like when you are hungry, right, when you want a coffee, you can just walk into any coffee. It doesn't have to be Starbucks. It doesn't have to be Coffee Day. Like a 10 rupee coffee also sometimes works right now. Here, customer needs something. If I deliver that something to them, I do have my own business. Now, if I look at the kind of reach that an ICICI bank has, or a HDFC bank, or a Kotak bank, I have nothing. I'm a single person sitting in a small space. So I also don't need to have so much expenses. I just need to connect to my customer. If I can make a deal with my customer, if my customer is comfortable with you, I have a deal. And if I can retain my customer for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, then things progresses. So it's a simple, like if the customer gets what he wants.
Thanks, Kartika. My intention was completely on the educational side, like what kind of a mindset for those people who should get it. It is completely on
Okay.
the that front because
Education. Yeah.
it should be always on the mindset change, right? Because
Yeah.
there is they say, right, every 33 years there is always a change in the shift in your
Yes.
mindset on in the
Okay.
world. So
Yeah.
in
I-
that front, like the young generation always should think about like what is the difference, and they should have the choices in place with them, and they should understand what it is, and then they should proceed with that. I think that my whole intention was onto that perspective because uh, in India it is always like the crowd goes and the person has to
Yeah.
go around to it. So it's
Correct.
more about
And also, no, I feel that sometimes, no, see, obeying parents, see, we can obey parents in terms of, following the ethics, integrity, lot of good value system. But when my
So
parents said, you should put in FD only, I actually analyzed and found a better way. And I told them, see, there are better ways. Then they said, no, our parents told us this. And now we have been doing this for 20 years. But then, a leader, see, why we have this program is Global Future Leaders Program. We need to analyze and find out if there is a better way. Teach. I had to teach my mom how, this, but then by then she was little, like she was retired. So she said, yeah, I
so
understand there is a better way, but probably at this age, I cannot take that risk. But she did understand that there are better ways than what she was aware of. And that too, I did not study finance. Karthik did MBA. I did not study finance at all. I learned,
so here there is an
yeah,
assumption that I did MBA and then this thing came. No, I was like this even before.
okay,
So in India, Tamil Nadu, Hindi is
yeah,
not taught as a language. So there is one Dakshin Bharatiya Hindi Prachin Sabha.
yeah,
They have this 8-level exam,
yeah,
Pratmik, Madhyama, then it goes 8 exams.
yeah,
Somebody has done 6 exams. I was yet to start one. My mom was so furious. I have to study that exam. After I did that exam, I had to become a Hindi Pandit. My mom had this thing because one of the kid in 7th class, he had done that 7th exam he was going to.
okay,
So my mom would put on a tuition. So I went to the tuition teacher. I was a kid, 7th class kid, 8th class kid. Okay. So the teacher was like, I asked her, why am I doing this? I speak better Hindi than you. My dad was in army. I was in North and I grew up in North. My Hindi fluency was much, much better than the person who's teaching me. So why am I doing this class? Why am I writing this exam? She told that you can write 8 exam you write, you become a Pandit. Once you become a Pandit, you can teach to the kids like I'm doing. Okay. I told her like, I'm paying you only 30 rupees a month. My mom was a tailor. She would make 20 rupees stitching a cloth in about an hour. I said, like, I am the only student you have. There is one more student. You do all this work to make 60 rupees in a month. That is too little money. This is financially not making sense to me that I will do this. This was me in 7th class. And that I rejected it. Now, in terms of society, right, we are like, current generation is not like they are listening to the parents. Right? In my generation, if parents say, end of it. Right? But same thing after my MBA, I wanted to make certain things in terms of money, but my mom was like, no, when the salary comes, give it to me. I will, and whenever you need money, take it from me. I basically decided to take care of it myself. So probably it can be seen as me disobeying my parents, but there is a different, respect is different. Listening to them is different. But when it came to this, I made my choice. My parents didn't allow this. And when I decided to quit the job also, my parents are not at all okay with it. They were utterly against it. So at some point in time, I saw something which I tried to tell them something, but they never understood it. So I had to take a leap of faith. I went against my parents' opinion at a certain point in time. If I had listened to everyone, then I don't think I would be here. And I couldn't explain them. They can't. When it comes to numbers, today I realize it came so easy to me. It doesn't mean that everybody gets the number correct. Number skills are very important. I could see this. If you double the money, what happens? If you double your money 10 times, it goes 1,000 times. The simple concept, 2 raised to the power 10.
Yes.
There's a reason your kilobyte to megabyte. When you talk from, say, how many bytes make a kilobyte? Typically, in normal mathematical language, 1,000. It should go in multiples of 1,000. But when you talk about kilobyte, the number is 1024. It's not 1,000. It's a 2 raised to the power 10. And that's a very simple reduction which you can make. When you multiply your money 10 times, it goes 1,000 times. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4. They're simple, very small things. And let's say, like example, Manappuram is a career launcher for me.
Manappuram is actually a company, I'm just telling for the benefit of children. Manappuram is into gold lending, into giving loans. They actually take gold from customers, then give them money in return. They also buy old gold, etc. So what Karthik is referring to is, instead of buying gold, you should have bought Manappuram shares. It would have appreciated more. Got it, right? It would have doubled.
The times change.
Yeah,
there was a time I was having. Today I've changed. See,
Yes.
when you want to raise the capital, you realize that getting money is not as easy. As you are having that as a part of it. Fundraising is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's giving is easy. Try to get funds, not from your parents, not from your family. You want to run a business, and now with this reason, go and ask funds. Then you realize how difficult it is to get funds. You can try and get an iPhone. You can try and get a laptop. Same thing. Go to the same people. Say like, I want to start something. I want to start a business. I want to try this thing. It becomes very difficult to get money.
They are actually in the next May, June, right? They are going to actually raise funds. They are going to see the practical difficulty. We are preparing them. We said that they may say, I'm not interested. People may just say, sorry, not interested. Or they may say, what do I get? Or why should I help, etc. So we are preparing them now. We are doing that, that.
Getting it. We have multiple stages.
Yeah.
And I want to
But
answer Hari with one more line, one more point of view.
Yeah.
See, when we go to the mutual fund, in the long run, what we expect is the rate of return is in line with what is called as a nominal GDP. There is inflation, there is real GDP. Now, the nominal GDP represents the sum of real GDP plus the inflation. So India as a country grows at 7% approximately, and the inflation is 7. Combined, it's 14%. If you look at mutual funds in general or index in general, would have delivered 14-15% annualized in the last 15-20 years. There are some funds which have actually delivered 20% annualized. When you make 20% annually, you double your money in 3.5 years.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now it sounds somewhat ridiculous. Do the math. If you double your money 10 times, you are going 1000x. Now, what looks like a super normal number, actually, when you deduct it down, it is just about 20% annualized rate of return. If you take 3.5 years to double your money, in 35 years, you do 1,000 times. And some mutual funds in the last 25 years has delivered that 1000x, which basically means like 23% annual rate of return. There are some funds.
1000x
Yeah.
is like 1000 times, like whatever you put in into
Yes.
1000.
Yeah. 1 lakh would become, 1 rupee would become 1000.
Satvika, Sham, Diya, and other students who have joined, right, for them.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
now we
give
have
them an
to start-
assignment to find
Yeah.
those funds which have actually delivered it.
Yeah.
And how much time it takes to double your money. If it takes about 3.5 years to double your money, in about 21 years, you have doubled your money 6 times. 3.5 years is a double. 3.5 plus 3.5, 7 years is another double. 10.5 years is next to double. So over 21 years, you would have doubled it 6 times
Yes.
at 3.5 years. This probably put it into the minds. This basic number skills, I was learning this as a part of my CAT coaching skills, CAT coaching. Normally, it is not taught in our schools, and I generally don't see people talk in real life. So Manappuram was the example in the past. The recent example is, like we have Oscars for the movies. Apparently, whiskeys have equivalent of that, the world's best whiskey award. Okay, and probably a question to you all. You can Google it also and answer. The last year, 2003, say 2023, which whiskey won the best whiskey award? There are many whiskey awards. There is one particular whiskey which won world's best whiskey award in 2023. For the year 2023, if you can Google it, you'll get the answer. If you want to try, you can try. Otherwise, I'll complete it for the sake of answering it. Now, the whiskey is called Indri, and the company that makes it is Piccadilly. It's an Indian brand. It came out of a shocker. I never knew that such a brand existed, such a company existed. In India, it's a taboo to talk about whiskey or alcohol in general. But from the time they won the award till date, the stock has done 8 times, a little more than 8 times in a span of about 8 months. October 2, they won the award. It's a dry day in India. October 2, Indian whiskey, Indian shops are closed because it's Gandhi's birthday. And October 2, they won the award. It's 8x. Now, the piece of information available to me was some Indian whiskey has won this award. Just like one fine day, I wake up and find out that Sushmita Sen, Aishwarya Rai, they won the Miss World and Miss Universe contest. Indians at that point in time had no idea what those are. They wake up to like Indian has won a Miss World, Miss Universe. Likewise, last year's Best Whiskey Awards went to Indian brands, Indian whiskies. It's also talking about the rise of the Indian whiskies. That piece of information combined with my number skills, I immediately bought that stock. And it's resulting in tens of lakhs in profits. If I put like 10 lakhs in it, and if it goes like 7x on it or 8x on it, a 10 lakh has become 80 lakhs. 10 lakh was my money, 70 lakhs is kind of a profits. Possible. Now, you could have thrown 10,000 at it, you could have put 5 lakhs at it, you could have put nothing at it, you could have seen that information, let it pass. Acting. So here I'm at a stage where I see these opportunities, put at it. It's also like risk management at stake, but
yes,
within the risk management framework, I take my shots. It's not like a closed shot. I make my calculated shot. There's a lot of data that I have accumulated, which I don't think I can explain it all in this session.
Yeah.
But it is possible. It is possible to get.
Just an introduction. Yeah, just an introduction for the children. Just because even in the course, 4 months also, of course, we could not get into details of all that. But we did tell them that we saw the top, top 20 stocks, top 50 mutual funds, all those lists we saw. We saw the kind of percentage returns they are getting. Like say, for example, what would come out of FD and what would come out of this. Of course, there is a risk, but as I said, FMCG is like I said, if you just put in FMCG, if you keep buying FMCG over a period of time, like say Nestle, I mean, people are not going to stop eating Nestle products just in a short time or something. So as long as, it's a good stock and the CEO and the management is sound, we can go ahead. And also ethical investing also, like for example, suppose you don't want to promote a company which is into cigarettes and all that. I have avoided investing in ITC consciously because I do not like investing in a company which promotes cigarettes. So that's my ethics. But Satvika, she's free. She'd say, no, ITC also makes atta. I'm okay to invest. I'll get the profit. It's her wish. So this is again, ethical investing is, you see, there's no wrong and right. See, what is ethical for Satvika? maybe not ethical for me. Or some people may be vegetarians. They'll say, no, I will not deal with any company which deals with non-vegetarian food. So not even Nestle, because Nestle does deal with, non-veg Maggie and all that. So maybe I'll not invest in a company like that. I'll invest only in a pure veg kind of company. Yeah, it's up to you. Or maybe someone might say, I'll do only organic foods.
So
Food items.
concept is ESG.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the first time I'm investing. I'm almost 40 now. I
Okay.
have not bought these companies until now. This
Yeah.
day I was like, I will grab it. I will take this opportunity. So this is the first time I'm doing it. So
Yeah.
say I come from a small town, Tamil Nadu, very conservative
Yeah.
upbringing. Yes. See, in business, the primary thing is profits. You can't do something without making profits. You can't have a business which is loss making.
Yes.
Business has to deliver certain value or service to the customer, but also at the same time, it has to make profits.
Profits,
It
definitely.
cannot be like, even for that reason, I'm not getting this. Even an NGO is profit making. We fail to understand it. Tata Sons, the largest holding company, is a trust. It's not a private company. Tata Sons is a trust, right? It is not a private company. And people fail to realize it. Tata Sons owns, significant of the Tata group is owned. If you take Tata Motors or TCS or the largest of the businesses, it's owned. It comes under Tata Sons. And I had this luck in I attended a session where they taught us social service doesn't mean that you have to do charity. You can also make money in doing in certain sustainable things.
Yes.
It was a shock for me when I came to know. Now, when you service somebody, like, how can I take money for my own wallet? It's actually fine as long as you deliver something to some people.
Yes.
You are uplifting to your society. You are contributing to a cause. That cause doesn't have to be loss making. Right. In the process of uplifting somebody, you also make some money. It's a great thing. It can be self-sustaining in that case. It doesn't require somebody has to give money again and again and again. Or your cause, when you help somebody, it also generates some profits. It's a great thing. So when you talk about social service doesn't have to be loss making. We have to break that perception. It's a very rare thing, very difficult thing. Even for that reason, when I was talking to Manju earlier, he said, why don't you get rich? Today, if you're helping one person, you get rich and help 1,000 people. There's a way to look at it.
He
You can
told me
think
like
at
in 2016, I said, I don't want to be rich. Then he said, no, I do social work. Then he said, if you're richer, you can do more social work. So that idea, right? Sometimes you think that, no, I don't need, I'm okay. Then he was telling, there are people who do a lot of this Infosys Foundation, Sudha Murthy. She's actually very rich, 1,000 crore worth or something, but she does a lot of social work. She has a lot of money and she can do. So he said, you make more money and then you help more people. See, people who do not want to help, they'll do. Now it's time to distribute certificates because our young leader, Shyam, has to leave sharp at 8:30 to some other place. So what we will do is, thank you so much, Karthik. I know it's just like I would say, for them, right now, I don't know whether they even realize what they are listening to. But probably when they go through the YouTube record, they do realize. But if you do all the maths and all, he said this time that when they go through the YouTube live recording, or maybe when they start earning, like when they are 22 and all, when they say, I met a person like this, Karthik, and then we have Hariram also, he's going to teach them the goal setting. So before that, I have an assignment for Hariram Dinesh sir. You have to distribute the certificates for children. Are you okay with that? And Karthik, we would like to request Punmita to share the certificate. Punmita, can you share the PPT, please?
Yeah, sure.
Karthik, we'll be sending you a book to your address as a humble token of appreciation from Win with Manju. And we sincerely hope that you actually write a book, maybe even for children on finance, or maybe even for adults. Why not? Okay, on your journey. A journey of a middle class person and how he used his brains to create wealth out of nothing. That's his thing. Yeah. So this is the PPT. So we just will show that. Yeah. Punmita, can you show that? Yeah. So this is a Global Future Leaders program. And yeah, to be a leader step by step. Next slide, please, Punmita. Yes. Global Future Leaders program. We actually want to create probably, future Dr. Kalams. The reason being, he was very ethical also, known for his impeccable integrity. So we want these global future leaders to be renowned for their integrity, along with their ability to maximize the opportunities that they get, whether it be finance, law, or other opportunities. As Isaac Newton rightly said, I'm able to reach further, I'm able to see further because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Your parents could be the giants on whose shoulders you are standing on. But then you will be able to see beyond what they could see. Say maybe your parents, they had a wall here, they could see only till here. You stand on their shoulders, you can see further and then tell your parents to, just like Karthik did. So molding ethical leaders step by step. And the next one, next slide, please. How to be a good leader. So this is designed by me because I saw that I was coaching adults, executives, VPs, senior VPs, CEOs. So I found that when we asked them, how much money did you save? What is your assets to liability ratio? Shockingly, a lot of people above 40 had very less of assets and more of liabilities. That kind of worried me because that's some basic maths. You should have A greater than L. Even Satvika's nodding her head. She knows that. Sham knows that. Suhan knows that. All the young leaders in this program, they know that A should be greater than L. Is mobile phone the depreciating asset? They know that. They know that cars are a depreciating asset. So they wouldn't spend too much money on those. Rather, they will put in things which grow their money. But shockingly, a lot of people whom I coach, they still had A less than L, assets less than L. Punmita, next slides, please. So we had these 5 children. So that is Satvika. So Hariram, Dinesh, we will spotlight you also. At the end, maybe we can do. Okay, I'll
Sure.
share that. So Satvika, this is for you for completing your level 1 of basics of finance module. Okay, this is just the beginning. It's a long way to go. Okay, because as I said, no, the heights that were reached by Karthik or even by Warren Buffett and all, one day. And when you become rich, we want you to serve the society, help the poorer sections of the society, not just enjoy your Ferraris and all that. So congratulations, Satika. The next child, yes, that is Shyam. Congratulations, Shyam.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
will share the certificate also. Next, we have Suvan joining us from Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Sham is from Chennai, but he was connecting from Coimbatore, I guess, from his grandfather's place, right?
No, ma'am, it's Kadalur.
Kadalur, yeah, Kadalur. And Satvika is from Chennai again. So Suvan is from Lucknow. And congratulations, Suvan. He just completed his 6th grade. And Sham just completed his 10th grade. Swati and Shriya, they are twins. They're currently in US, traveling between states, due to which they couldn't connect to this particular session. So both of them are young authors as well, and they have also completed this. So this particular session was filled with a lot of questions, That's why I said, Sham had that question. Isn't PF safer? Isn't NPS safer? Isn't FD safer? Yes, it is safer, but problem is if you go for safety, in the long run, you will lose out. So you may have to take some calculated risks. I'm not saying just take risks, okay? Analyze the stock, as we said, no? Look into their history. We saw the past 5 years history, right? Profit and loss. So next course, we'll be looking at balance sheet. How to look at, not like in-depth analysis, okay? Just a high-level overview, how to see whether at least they're making profits or not. That you should be able to read. Okay, reading balance sheet, no, they have a full course for it. BCom, MCom and all they learn. But here we will introduce, if you look at the balance sheet, can you make out whether the company is making profit or not? What is their assets? What are their liabilities? If liabilities are more, assets are less, don't go for that company. Risky, especially if the sales forecast is also low. No sales also. Why should you invest in that company? But you know something, what you guys know, many adults don't know. How they buy, I'll tell you. They will say, my my relative told me that if you put in this company, it will grow in 3 months. It will double. it will triple. So they just go and do it. No. So we need to analyze, do our independent analysis. Okay. So thank you so much. Now we have the global future leaders final address by Hariram Dinesh. Sir, he will be doing the goal setting related talk. So Sham, in case you wish to leave also, we will share you the recording because he specifically, his parents had specifically asked. So there will be a 5-minute session. If you wish, you could say but if you are in a hurry and you need to leave the place, not at all a problem. Okay. So we will send you the certificates also to all of you. And I hope, all of you become enriched by the knowledge that Karthik shared with us. And all of you, by the time you are 39 or 40, you have, multi-crore empire and all that. And from that, remember to serve the poor, okay? Don't just have it to yourself. Help the poor, help the needy, help the underprivileged people too. Will you promise to do that? Okay, sure. Thank you. Now now over to Hariram Dinesh for this. Karthik and Hari, we have a humble token of appreciation from us. At the end, I'll be presenting. It's a certificate. I know it's like for the time you spend, certificate is not enough. We'll send a book also to your address. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Manjuna.
Sure.
It's a pleasure for me to actually to be with this future leaders. So once again, congrats to each one of you for this wonderful enrollment in the graduation. So let me ask this question. So how many of you recently got appreciated by saying you're very smart? Anybody
Come on.
appreciated you that you guys are very smart, or you did something very smart? Did somebody appreciated you guys?
Yes, mostly
Good,
my father.
good. Okay.
In classes also some people were.
Indeed, you guys are already part of this program, which is a smart thing. So you should pat yourself for being into this smart program. So once again, congratulating to everyone. So like we listened to Karthik, right? So his phase of life, how he developed himself into achieving certain things, right? So what comes into your mind? Okay. So in the interest of the time, I'll say it's the goal, right? So he wants to
Yeah.
build this finance. So that is his goal. So that he created a direction. Okay, this is where I want to go. So he created a direction. So that is nothing but your goal, correct? Now you guys also can create a goal based on your needs and wants. Okay, there's a difference between needs and wants. Need is something what is essential. Want is something like more about a pleasure, which gives, correct? So you have to
Yeah.
differentiate what is a need and a want. Now, based on that, you create a goal, correct? Now, once you create a goal, then you have the self question, right? Is my goal correct or not? Or am I doing the right thing or not? So that's the question which you get it, right? So there's a formula for that, right? To evaluate yourself. Okay, I've taken the right goal. So what we call is the SMART goals. So what is the SMART goal is all about? So S stands for specific. Are you guys are with me?
I can type in the chat window also.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
So S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for relevant, and T stands for time-based. So each word it's very self-explanatory, but then for the interest, I'll say what is specific, right? What is the specific that stands in the SMART? Specific is about, uh, like I said, like when you create a goal, what is that you want to accomplish? Like for Karthik, it is about the building a fund, or I want to help my clients to build a fund. So that is the accomplishment which he's trying to do there. So that is very a specific goal. And second one is the measurable. So today I started. Next 10 days, do I have a mechanism to evaluate? It can be evaluated by yourself. You can have a tools to evaluate yourself, or you can hire somebody who can evaluate yourself. So there's a different ways and choices you have. And achievable. It's a question, right? Like, do I have the time and resources to get this done? So if I have to build the money, or if I have to uh, buy a iPhone, would I be able to spend my the money, or do I have to ask my parents to get it? Or if I have to own myself an iPhone, how long I should wait for it? So you have a predictions there. So that is nothing but your achievable question. You do that. Relevant. This is very important thing. This that relevant to your character. Is it relevant to your need and want? Because your friend did something doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing, right? So how does that relevancy holds there? That is very important. And second thing is, it is always a time based. So you create a goal, and it is not something like you leave it for the rest of your life and it keeps going as in a backlog. No, it is not. You set a time frame. Is it going to be a 5 years, 3 years, 4 years? That is very important. So it is a time base. So I'll take a pause here, and any questions you guys have, or anything which you want to clarify in terms of the goals?
Maybe, we must have an assignment related to that. For example, can you set a SMART goal for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, something that is achieved. Maybe not with respect to money right now, because you're still not started earning. You'll be anyway taking money from your parents, right? So they may scold me, okay, they are asking for this much money. So rather, maybe in terms of studies, say for example, can I study this much per day, this subject, something like that. So can you set a SMART goal? All of you, Diya, Sadhana, Punmita, Suvan, Satvika, and all the others watching it on YouTube live. Can you set a SMART goal? If you're an adult too, you can set a SMART goal. You can set it in terms of savings. It can be learning also. Maybe you too can say, I'll do this kind of extra learning. Over the next 3 months, I will read this book. Maybe Rich Dad, Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki. Even for adults, it's like even if you have read it once, rereading it doesn't hurt. Again, Warren Buffett's books. If you read it, if you're an adult too, it will help. It's not just for children. Even an adult, if you reread it, you will get more and more insights on how to manage your money, etc. So can you set a SMART goal, just like Hariram sir just asked? Think of it. You don't have to reveal now. Okay, Satvika said thumbs up. Suvan is unable to turn on his video. Suvan, do you want to answer?
I'll just leave a tip here, like what Manju ma'am actually showed Abdul Kalam. So his
Yes.
teaching is all about dreaming, right? So if you start dreaming, I think that is the first step. So once you dream, and to achieve this dream, what you need is a goal. To achieve the dream is a goal, right? So to achieve that goal, you need to have a SMART goal defined to it. So probably if you're thinking, what should I think about doing a SMART goal? Think about your dream, if not a problem statement, or what is bothering you for quite some time, right? So that would be a good head start for you guys to create a SMART goal, and that will help you a lot.
Yes, indeed.
So with that, I thank for the opportunity, and I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you so much, Hariram, and especially for considering the time, and you kept it so short and it is brief but to the point. So thank you so much for honoring us at Win with Manju with your presence. And Karthik, no words. It's like, I think even the adults in the group, we wanted to have a lengthy discussion with you, but in the interest of time, now I'm ending it, because children, I think they have to have their dinner, etc. They are young children. Some of them as young as we start from 6th standard. Suvan has just completed 6th grade. Satvika has just completed 7th grade. So what I feel is, we say start early. Even if it's learning about finance, law, or any matter for that. If you start early, the chances of you going up in that particular trajectory is much, much, much higher. Start early. And I think Karthik's favorite sentence used to be start early and principle of compounding. They have learned it. Satvika is smiling because she has learned the principle of compounding. In fact, we put an Excel and we made them calculate. It was an assignment. They had to sit and do 10,000 rupees or whatever every year if you're putting in and what will happen, just with the simple interest. Yeah, if you put every year this much is this, and over a period of 20, 30 years, that amount was becoming a huge amount, right? You remember that, Satika? Yeah. So they learned that. So start early. Only thing is starting early, again in FD may not help. RD may not help. Putting in PF may not help. Listening to the LIC agent, no offense to any LIC agents. Of course, I respect their profession, but I would say it's like this. If you want something on your plate, you should also analyze what you may like, what you may not like. If not, you'll have to eat whatever is served by someone else. Suppose I don't like dal and someone serves me a lot of dal, I should tell no, this is not fine. I'll rather have chana or maybe I'll have paneer or whatever. So you should know stuff. If you know the taste, you will know. So same way finance also, only if you have experimented with stuff, you would do. And those who still think gold, I just want to give an example. 2005, gold price was, 2005, you can get 8 grams of gold for, I think 8, yeah, approximately 8 grams for just 5,000, 6,000 rupees. 2005. 2003, it was exactly 5,000. So what I did, I bought a mutual fund at that point of time. And after some 12 years, it was like more than a lakh, just the 5,000 rupees. Now, gold did not reach 1 lakh by then. You understand, right? So, of course, while choosing the mutual fund, I did do the analysis. I chose a good one with some, I was analyzing the mutual fund also. What are they investing in? Mutual funds also invest in some other stocks and bonds, etc. So we need to analyze what they are putting in. And if you keep, actually you can get rewards. And they say stock market cycle itself is 15 years, they say. It's like if you keep for 15 to 20 years, it'll go up and come down. There is a theory that they say, if you keep for 20 years, right, there'll be an upswing and there'll be downswing. It will happen. So if you're patient enough, then only you can get the rewards.
These days,
But
the cycle is very short, very
Yeah,
short. It's months nowadays.
yeah,
There's
not
a
years.
cycle and a super cycle. You learn
Yes.
it as a concept in economics. Cycle and a super cycle. Cycle is what she's talking about. That's a super
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah,
A super cycle will encompass few cycles.
yeah,
And one more point here.
yeah.
When it comes to finance, it's like swimming, let's call it. You know how to swim? Put your hands, flip your hands.
Yeah,
And if you're thrown into water, will you be able to swim?
yeah.
Finance is something like that. No amount of classroom education is going to take
Yeah,
you there.
you need to learn by yourself. You need to do
You have to put your
experiment.
money.
Yes.
You have to put your money and go
Yes.
through that emotions. If it falls, if you lose money, you have to go through that.
Our
If you
next,
make money,
yeah, our third module, we want them to create portfolio in moneycontrol.com and other sites, no?
make it with
So,
my
yeah.
recommendation. Whatever be the amount, make it real.
No,
Money control is like swimming
Yeah.
in the air. The real money impact will not be there.
Yeah.
Ask them to put real money in real mutual fund,
But
real
real
gold.
money, since they are minors, no, all are below the age of 18. So that is
No, I disagree with that. No, parents can always pitch in there.
Okay, we'll negotiate with the parents. Whether parents are ready to put in, yes, then definitely they can analyze and grow their money, listening to the young leaders. So with
So
this,
here,
we need to
these days,
thank,
kids can also earn. Kids can
yes,
also earn. It's a
yes,
myth that kids cannot earn.
yes.
I met a person who was in third year engineering, and there was a lockdown in 2020. She made 20 lakhs in that year. And I was
Awesome.
like, I know money, I'll teach you money. Then she said, like, how much you made? I made 20 lakhs. Okay, it's wrong. I should learn from you. You tell me how to make money.
Yeah. So Karthik, watch out. These global future leaders, these young ones, another
Could be
10
one.
years down the line,
Could be
they
one.
doing that. Yeah.
What I have studied in 40 years of old, some of you could be doing it in when you're 20, 21. Possible.
Yes.
It's not that it has to take. Sometimes it's the intent mindset. If you get your things right,
Yeah.
you can achieve it very early.
But then, the ultimate truth of money is, no, it's all about, like Karthik said, needs versus wants. Do you really need it? Do you want it? And of course,
Nothing
it's
wrong in
also,
getting rich. Nothing wrong in getting rich.
there's nothing wrong.
You can be
But
frugal.
it's also about the control. Control as in, yes, you have something, you can make a lot of money, but how you utilize it? Because we have seen people, no, they can spend money also. So you can spend 1 crore in a single day. You can spend 10 crores in a single day. Give me money, you can spend 100 crores in a single day. So what you need to learn finally will be mastery over your mind, that no, I should not spend beyond a particular limit also. That is also something you need to learn, and also to use the money for some good causes. So with that, we end the session. We would like to convey huge round of applause and thanks to Punmita. She's our employee, and she's the one who prepared that slide and all that. Certificate was made by me. I have a certificate for Karthik and uh, Karthik and Karthik. This is a humble token of appreciation. This is for Karthik. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes, I'll send this
Thank
over
you.
to you. And we
Yeah.
have for Hariram also. Hariram also, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and for enlightening these young minds. I also have certain other certificates. I think they already shared, but I still would like to share it once again in case you couldn't see it properly. I could show that in the, just a minute. So this will be the certificate which will be sent to you by email. Each of you will be getting it. It's a bit slow. Please bear with me. A bit slow. Net is a bit slow. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the kind of certificate which you'll be getting. And then level 2, if you do, you'll get the level 2. May, June, after May, June, July, we'll have the next graduation ceremony. That is for the fundraiser that you're going to do for an NGO, right? You learn basics of pitching, basics of negotiation, basics of persuasion, etc. So like this, we have certificates for each and every one. Okay, this is for Suven. And let me open the certificate for, yes, certificate for Satvika, certificates for Shreya, and certificate for Shyam. This is for Shreya. And we have for Shyam. Yes, this is for Shyam.
These are not opening. We can only, I'm not seeing that. I'm just
Oh,
seeing
you're not able to see that.
downloads folder.
I think it's
I'm
the
just seeing a
net.
downloads folder. It's not
Okay. I
loading.
think it's a net issue. What I'll do, I'll just try sharing. Is this visible? This is the certificate. Are you able to see now?
Now it's visible, Swati.
Yeah,
Yes.
Swat. Yeah. Like that for each of you, it is there. Okay, Satvika, etc., etc. If you want any changes in the certificate design, you can ask me because I only designed it. So if you want a design change, tell me. I'll put whatever else you want. I'll put that. Okay. Sure. Thank you so much. And with this, now we end the session. And thank you one and all for joining us today. Dia, Sadhana, and there are others also. I think they dropped off. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
can, yeah, sure. We can take a
Thank
group
you.
photo also. Yeah, sure. I think people are not on camera, so we can.
Yeah, only 3 of us are on photo.
No issues. We can always take a photo from the YouTube.